Hello, wonderful people. Hello, friends, loved ones, soon to be loved ones. I am back after a very long hiatus from YouTube and doing pick-up cards. I am back. If you are new to this, I'm eye-kuh. If not, yeah, call me eye-kuh anyway, I guess. But yeah, like I said, I'm back. I'm super excited I'm back. I finally was able to find a pocket of time that I could hop on here and do a little something, and so I'm just super excited. I got all like the good feels and the good nerves to do this today, and yeah, once again I'm just so excited. So let me get that out the way. But yes, I'm back here with the pick a card today around finances and money. We're gonna do a little check-in around that. I could use it, so hopefully you could use it too. I'm gonna go over what's going well and how to either keep it up or improve. Yeah, because as of summer 2026, these bills are high. Gas is what, $4 in the Midwest, and in the South. I got trips to do personally. I got some other stuff going on, and yeah, I just need to know where my money, how my money is acting, what I'm doing right with my money, and how to either keep it up or improve. Because yeah, it's a lot going on, and I just want to be on track. So if you also want to be on track too with me, hopefully you can find some insight within the piles. I don't know what's gonna happen once we get inside, but yeah, hopefully you can find some love within the piles. We got 3 piles to choose from. That will give you some financial check-ins and all of that good stuff. All of them equal $1. Let me just say, I had to think of that on the fly. All of them equal $1. So we got the first pile number 1, made out of all quarters. 4 quarters equal $1. Little math lesson for y'all. And then we have pile 2, which is a mix of like quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. I won't go through the math of this, but yes, pile 2 also equaling $1. And then we have pile 3. Let's get my fingers in the camera. Pile 3 with this dollar. My bad, my phone is going off. But with the dollar bill here, yeah, you can decide if you want to choose 1 pile, 2 piles, all 3 piles, 1 pile today, another pile tomorrow. However you want to do it is up to you. But I just hope to see you in your pile, whichever one you do choose. And yeah, if you need more time, pause the video. But once again, see you at your pile. All right, pile number 1. Those of you who chose the 4 quarters here, I promise. Yeah, those of you who chose the 4 quarters, this pile is for you. Yeah, we're gonna just be taking a look at a little check-in around your money, your finances, what's going well, and then how to keep it up and or improve. So I'll do shuffling on camera. Hopefully this is quick. Okay. Ooh. What is going well for you? Pile 1. So I'm kind of seeing some. Ooh, this is interesting. This is an interesting way to start off. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was gonna immediately say work, 8 of coins, 8 of pentacles, all of those things tend to be a card about work. But I'm seeing with 5 of sticks, it could be going a few different ways. And this is interesting because I heard at first that you have been calling off of work, or if you have just been taking some time away from the job in some kind of way, it's been beneficial. I can't tell you how that folds yet, because I would think that if you're not going to work, then you're probably, if you are a working class person, right, then you're not making money. But maybe for you and where you are in your life right now, whatever is going on, you kind of need to stay out of the drama at work. I also heard that too, but you just kind of need to stay away from whatever tension is happening at work, or if there is just a lot of like, I hear like a lot of like nitpicking and a lot of arguments or a lot of petty disagreements that are kind of like turning into bigger arguments than they need to be, or just things that could be easily fixed but they just aren't being fixed well. And yeah, maybe you have decided to kind of like separate yourself from that, and or yeah, separate yourself from that. And I hear focus just on your money, right? Like you have things that you like to pay for, you have things that you'd like to do. um yeah, you have those kind of things going on. You're not necessarily trying to be too much, doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You're not necessarily trying to get too involved with coworkers or get too involved in different side missions, or you know what I'm saying, if you're like solo dolo or you're working on like business things, you might be kind of like putting some collaborators to the side because it's just like they may have just too much going on right now. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just disagreements and petty arguments, but it could just be like they just got too much that is incompatible with what you're trying to do. I just hear that what's going well is that you're focusing on your money. You're focusing on your bread at this point. Making sure that things are in order, making sure that things are organized, making sure that, you know what I'm saying, you got bills being paid on time, or, you know, getting to that point. You have expenses paid off. If you are like me having a trip, you're making sure that you're putting things on a proper budget, you're aligning things with when you get paid, all of these things, and kind of like getting outside the work drama. And for some of y'all, that meant calling off. That meant I'm gonna just take the day off and focus on something else, or maybe it was a day or some time to put things in some order. So yeah, that's what's going well for y'all. Let's see how to either keep it up and improve. And that's so interesting. Honestly, sometimes you gotta call off. Like, I don't necessarily like to call off and like mess people over personally, but sometimes when it's just a lot of extra stuff going on that you just kind of you have to sometimes just take that day. And it's not even like always just a mental health day, or like, you know, you just need the day off. Just maybe you just don't want to be there with them people. You don't feel like being involved in their energy. So, how to keep it up and improve for you, pile one. Okay, let me take a second with this one. So you got Son of Knives and Nine of Sticks. I first heard learn how to negotiate. I don't necessarily know what exactly this has to do with finances, but yeah, let me take one moment because it's kind of a little jumbled right now. Okay, so it's very faint, but it's just, and maybe what you're doing here is more important. Like I said, this feels like more of a like a how to keep it up kind of message, and it just feels like, okay, maybe you have to do a little bit more oopsies advocating for yourself, or standing up for yourself, whether that's at work or just, you know what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you have to kind of like get into debates or anything with your coworkers, or get into those same arguments with your coworkers, but maybe it's a way of just standing up for yourself in whatever way that folds for you at your workplace. I also kind of want to go back because I heard as I was tapping these cards to the message of what's going well. If you have been, I feel like once again, some of y'all have just been focused on your bread, and some of y'all have been kind of like, if you're like more in a managerial position, right, where you have to deal with other people and you know all of the stuff that they have going on, right, you oversee people, in some kind of way. This is kind of where this message comes in, where it's just like, speak your piece. Definitely learn how to negotiate, learn how to, you're kind of like learning how to talk to people, or I don't know how else I want to say this, but you're kind of learning how to talk to people, or you're learning how to stand up for yourself amongst other people in the workplace. Maybe. That's kind of what I'm getting. That's why I said this message is a little slow, but it is a message of just like continue to stand up for yourself, continue to take your job and your money seriously, and to take those things seriously. And if that means, you know what I'm saying, talking, if you are a manager and you know the kind of the drama and the bickering is going on at work, that's a moment to be like, hey, like, let's cut this part out. We don't necessarily need to be doing this. What we really need to be focused on at work is XYZ. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to like learn how to direct some of that energy and know that you have. You may not always get it right. It may not be perfect all the time. It definitely might cause some extra issues up in here. But at the same time, it is important to stand up. It is important. It's kind of leading to your growth. Maybe you excel like within the workplace as someone who, yeah, that directs or manages, or you know what I'm saying, just make sure things are in line, and you know you tend to kind of like float on up to that position of being able to manage other people and other resources, yada yada yada. I can babble all day and yap all day, but essentially I just hope that you get the message to just stand up for what you believe in. This is also, it seems as if you are serious. Like I said, with this Eight of Pentacles, you're serious about your money, you're serious about what you got going on. And so yeah, it's a message of continue to be serious, because it is about character development too, right? It's not just about getting your finances, yes, but it's about character development. And maybe that's why you're so focused on your money, because you're like, I got these things that I really really want to get done. So yeah, just continue to, you know, try to silence or do whatever it is that you feel that you need to do in order to kind of protect your energy and to protect your peace at the end of the day, but also to kind of protect the environment that is that where your money is coming from, to put it plainly. Protect that environment so that you don't have to continue to, so that you can focus on your bread and focus on excelling at whatever it is that you're looking to excel at. So yeah, that was fun, pile one. Way to start this off. I hope that was insightful for you. It really was insightful for me. These cards were a little difficult, part two, on that last question, but we got it together. Like I said, I hope that it helps you. I hope that your finances and your money continue to improve, that you continue to get your paper and to excel in life and do all the things that you are looking forward to doing with that money that you're getting, pile one. But yes, until next time, see y'all later. Pile two, pile dos, pile dos in Korean. I think that's Korean. But yeah, we have pile two, or those of you who picked our mixed up dollar with quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies. I was trying to look for some half dollars, but this had to do today. I wanted it to equal $1. I was fixated in my mind, so we made it work. But yes, pile two, if this is the pile that you chose, this is your stop on your finances and your money check-in, on what's going well and then how to keep it up and improve. So yeah, let's just get into it. I gotta shuffle these. Oh, okay, pile two. Ooh, what's going well? Alrighty. Pile two. I know, listen, things are so simple for me in my mind, because I was like, pile two is going to mix it up, because y'all change thing is all mixed up. The change that equals a dollar is all mixed up. It's not the same, like in pile one or in pile three. But yeah, I was like, y'all are gonna mix it up. So anyway, what's going well? Okay, let me take a second with these because I wasn't expecting three, and I definitely wasn't expecting this trio of cards. Okay. Whew. Okay, so first off, I hear if you have been limited in your funds. This is what's so wild about doing these sometimes, because I'm like, before these, I'm like, these are gonna be so encouraging and so nice, and they're gonna make perfect sense. And then I get here and it makes no sense at all. Okay, so but anyway, yes, if you have been limited in your finances, I say that to say that the next set of things I might say might be like, what, what are you talking about? But anyway, let me get to it. If you have been limited in your finances, I hear that it's a form of protection in some kind of way, and or you've been kind of like fighting off. Um, yes, that's what it is. You have been fighting off the limitations to your money. Okay. So I guess it wasn't that confusing, y'all. My bad. My bad. But yeah, you've been fighting off some of the limitations to your money, but it's also been a form of protection that you've been limited. A form, right? It's kind of like you're kind of figuring out how to manage things. I wouldn't even just say limited in funds, but maybe um you don't necessarily utilize your money efficiently at the moment, but you're working on it. I kind of feel like you're working on it. You're trying to figure out, okay, how does this go here? How can I put this here? What is gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of paying too much for this. I'm not. I need this, and I don't have the funds for this. So I kind of feel like you're getting your finances together a little bit, or in very small ways that are adding up for sure. And that's kind of helping you to either, you can say like, break generational curses if you must, but really it's just kind of like any negativity around your money. So you might have some, I don't want to say negative thinking around your money, but you might feel a little anxious when it comes to dealing with money, right? Or you feel a little anxious or scared every time a bill pops up. You kind of feel yourself tighten up a little bit, and you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm preaching right there. I don't know why, but it's like, yeah, you might feel a little scared. You might, get a little agitated or whatever when it comes to money that you have to spend and or money that you even get, right? Like you don't necessarily feel piled to, like you're in a space of like, when that paycheck hits, you feel comfortable, right? You feel excited or you feel happy. Like, yes, you probably thinking about all the stuff that you have to pay for. You kind of probably feeling a little agitated with your job or whatever it is that you're doing for money, right? But I feel like what's going well in that is that you are you are addressing that in a lot of different ways, right? So that you can think clearer about your finances, so that you can be a better director of your finances, so that you can feel more in control of your finances. I kind of feel like, with you, Pile, to just be mindful of that, right? Like the idea of being in control of your finances, right? Because then you can kind of get a little, I feel like with you, Pile, too, I don't know if I'm picking up on anybody in particular, but, and I'm whispering, but yeah, I don't know if I'm picking up on anybody in particular, but yeah, you might kind of start to get a little funny acting when you get some funds, or you know what I'm saying, like if you owe people things or whatever. And wow, that's very specific, so I'm sorry if I'm telling any of y'all's business. I do not mean to, but I was gonna say, if you owe people things and then once you get a little money you act like you can't reach out or like give them a timeline or a date or anything, I kind of feel like you got to be a little bit mindful about that, pile two. You don't want to get too cocky, to say the least, about your funds. You have to be very, very mindful about that. But what's going well is that you are kind of doing a little bit of an internal audit with how you're going to be moving with your money moving forward. And that's what's going well. And I want to emphasize that most importantly, that's what's going well. I'm sorry to kind of giving me messages on how to improve already, but yeah, that's what's going well. Is that you are checking in on that and that you are doing that work. Okay, so let's ask how to keep it up and improve. Goodness gracious. Okay, yes. So I'm glad that I did that little example that I gave. Felt a little harsh coming from me, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like it needed to come out that way because what I see and how to keep it up and improve is that you just needs to be a bit more, I don't want to say it that way, that being more cooperative and being more collaborative in your finances will help your financial situation improve, right? That is being generous. Like I said, if you owe somebody some funds, I know that might give you a little bit of anxiety. Pile two, I genuinely empathize with you. And even if you don't have it right now, or you can't, as you are doing the work of the first three cards, right, figuring out how to maneuver things, include them in that plan. Let them know, because I feel like that collaboration, that cooperation will help you in the long run, right? Maybe that just builds a sense of trust to where you can have, you know what I'm saying, where that person might not mind looking out for you in the future if it comes up again. And I guess the best thing about finances and money check-ins is that I'm always reminded for myself when I do these that people are a resource, and I don't mean that, I don't say that so that you can go out and exploit and manipulate people, but I say that in a way that when you truly build good relationships and you do all of these beautiful things with people, it does become a situation where, you know, you share many things amongst each other, stories, laughs, all of that stuff, but they might share things with you that you might need later, right? It's kind of like the whole neighbor phenomenon. I can go to you and I can ask you for sugar. You can come to my house and ask me for sugar too, because you know we have established at least something to where we feel more collaborative. So I kind of feel like that's what's going to help you to improve, right? So I set that example, but I think that the message there was just don't be stingy, right? Don't get a little too cocky, like I can't help anybody. I don't need to help anybody. I don't, they should know my situation. And I absolutely hear all of those things, but it will really, really, really benefit you, Pile 2. I feel that so deeply in my bones, in my blood. It will really, really benefit you to just be a little bit more collaborative with your funds, with the things that you have, even if it's not monetary, right? Be willing to help out when they need, be willing to be a friend if that is what you can offer. Whatever it is that you can offer that can really kind of cement some sort of mutually giving relationship, I would encourage that for you so very much, prior to. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there so that I don't talk your ear off. I feel like in the past when I did pick a cards, pile two always made me feel something. I don't know what it is about pile twos in my pick of cards, but I just always be like, okay, y'all come here, let me give y'all a hug. And even after so long, it still feels the same. But yeah, pile two, I really, really do pray the continued growth of your finances, the continued growth of figuring out how to manage your finances. I know that you can do it. I know that you can. I promise you it's not that hard. There's many, many resources on the internet, and it seems like many resources available to you too to help, to help your financial situation just be where it is that you want it to be, okay? It's there for you. I pray that you know it when you see it, and that you take those opportunities where you can, okay? Because I want y'all to have that money in your pocket too. Trust me, I do. So yes, with that pile two, again, I wish you so Many blessings, and until next time. All right, so we're at pile 3. So if you chose pile 3, or if you chose this dollar, then this pile is for you. This is your stop. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about finances and your money. We're going to do a check-in on your finances and your money. We're going to talk about what's going well, and then we're going to talk about how to keep it up and improve. I am so excited, pile 3. The first two, not to bring their stuff into your things, but the first two just really has me feeling so good. So I am just like, what's gonna happen in pile 3? Literally, my song is like pile 3, pile 3. What's it gonna be? But yeah, let's get into the pile 3. I won't waste your time. That wasn't a waste of time, actually. That was a little intro for you all. So pile 3, let's talk about what's going well in your money and finances. One card. This is, oh no, we got 2. Okay. All right, pile 3. Let me sit with this for just a momento. What's going well in pile 3's finances? Okay, interesting. This is why I was like, what is going to happen in the rest of these piles, or in pile 3? Because, man, pile 1 and pile 2 kind of took me for a loop. And pile 3, I'm sorry, you're no different. But anyway, we have Daughter of Baskets and Pa. And the first thing that I hear is that if you have been praying more, right? If you have just been praying more to whoever, or just even if not praying, but just wishing, right, that your situation could improve, or that it and I feel like this is money and finances, but this could be, let me get my leg out the camera. This could be so much more than money and finances too. But if you have just been wishing on a star, I guess, so to speak, or just kind of even naming out more of what you want out of life, or the things that you want to do, or the things that you want to experience in life, that has just been really helpful. I feel like there is I don't know how I want to say this, because I didn't want to get too woo-woo in these messages. That's why I did finances and money, but genuinely there is something looking out for you. And so it is hearing those prayers, it's hearing those desires, it's hearing, and it's kind of generating something underneath the surface for you. It's kind of opening up a door, or opening up a certain avenue for you to explore, that I can see benefiting your money situation, whatever that looks like. Even if you're in a great place, you know what I'm saying? I can just see a door opening up, an opportunity happening as a result of whoever is looking out for you. And yeah, as a result of whoever's looking out for you, hearing your prayers, your desires, your wishes. And like I said, that could be money related, and or it could just be um, just what you want out of life. Okay. I just feel so like soft and like calm with you, pile 3. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, if y'all have been praying and things like that, or just getting in touch with what your heart wants, I just feel like your heart and your spirit is so powerful in that, right? Like maybe you're in a space of like desiring change for yourself. I always mean to cut my notifications off. I don't, but you may be in a very tender space of desiring change for yourself, or just desiring something different or something new, or returning to an idea that you had when you were young, or whatever it is. But it's such a tender spot for you, pile 3. And I just think that, yeah, like I said, I can just see that benefiting your finances, because I see something happening from that getting into your desires. Sorry, my hands are not in the camera enough. So y'all probably like, where are you at? I'm right on the floor with y'all. So, how to keep it up and improve. Y'all gonna make me take 4 cards is wild. Okay, I heard no. Probably as a result of my complaining, but I was like, I don't think that was right. Okay, so how to keep it up and to improve. Okay. And I would kind of say that this is the same message that came out before, but okay. So it's how to keep it up and improve would be to again stay in that realm of feeling. Like I said, I just feel kind of a tenderness with you, Pile 3. I feel like you're in a very tender or vulnerable moment, right? Where your life is prime and ready for some change, and that change is going to be invigorated, it's going to be accelerated by you just getting deeper into what it is that you want to experience. And this may have been a result of y'all just taking me all over the place, but anyway. Y'all got, like, it's very clear to me, but y'all are answering the question in a very backwards way. But yes, this could be as a result of, again, like you, or not again, but of you needing to walk away from something, and or just desire, like you may I feel the word rejection. So you may have experienced a rejection in some part of your experience. It could have been a job offer, but I kind of feel like, yeah, it could be a job offer for sure, but it could be just anything, right? Like where you just kind of feel like your life is you're just ready for something specific. It doesn't always have to be new, but you're ready for something more specific, more compatible to you, because whatever happened in the 8 of baskets, it wasn't compatible to you. And so you kind of, I feel like, yeah, pile 3, you're in that space of just like, I just want to continue, or I want to move forward from that, and I just want something more designed for me. Like I said, whether that's an experience, whether that's a thing, a job, a new person, friendship, social circle, any of that. Like it's just, I feel like you've experienced some, like, something that was like, that's not for me, and I want something more for me. And so, funnily enough, I feel like that's how you're improving your finances. Your battle, pile 3, is an emotional one. If you notice, baskets and the tarot is a card for water, and you got, and the moon is not necessarily always associated like this. It's mostly over water, but tell as old as time that the moon and the water have a special relationship. So your financial situation hinges more on your emotional state and where your emotions are taking you. I'll say your emotions, but what your instinct, what your body, what your internal senses are telling you about what it is that you want at the moment, that's going to really fulfill you or nurture you or just help you to feel like in good spirits about living and about life and all of that stuff. Y'all are very poetic in pile 3. And so y'all are in a state of like following your passions, or following your instincts, or following your first thought. And yeah, just exploring what that means for you, and kind of how it works for you or how it doesn't work for you. You're kind of in that space, and I feel like that's just what's going well, and that's also producing and improving your financial status in some kind of way. In all of the ways, it's kind of like indirectly tied to this, or it's directly tied to this, but more of your work is more just about figuring yourself out, pile 3. and those doors will open. I definitely feel that. Yes. What a poetic way to end my return from pick a card sabbatical. Um, yeah, pile three. Y'all have a special, special place in my heart. I pray that you continue on that journey, this internal, juicy, vulnerable, tender journey that you're on, and that you find all the things that you need to along the way, that you find either better work, better financial opportunities that are aligned to these things that you really just want to feel and experience in your life. Yeah, yeah. I think that sounds really good. Pile three, you might be kin to me. I love that work connected to that work. So yeah, I pray you continued success in that and encouragement in that. And yeah, I hope that you receive it and that you find it helpful for you moving forward. Pile three. But yes, again, continue prayers and until next time.